As the sun begins its Uttarayana or northward journey over the next 6 months, the skies of India fill with kites, the granaries brimming with new harvests, and hearts embraced with gratitude. This is Makar Sankranti, a festival celebrated with diverse traditions in different states of India with unique symbologies expressing gratitude to nature. Sankranti, this word in Sanskrit, means movement or change, marking it a celebration of solar transition. The word Makar refers to Capricorn. Due to Earth's movement around the Sun and its own tilted axis, solar rays can be direct only from the tropics of Cancer to Capricorn. The northern hemisphere gets the summer solstice when the solar rays are direct on the Tropic of Cancer, the northernmost subsolar point. After 3 months of southward movement, it reaches the equator and the northern hemisphere experiences the autumn or fall equinox. And 3 more months later, it experiences the winter solstice when the solar rays are direct on the Tropic of Capricorn, the southernmost subsolar point. After this, the 6 months of northward movement begin, reaching the equator again in 3 months, consequencing the spring equinox in the northern hemisphere. In Sanskrit, this northward movement of solar point is called Uttarayana, and the southward movement of solar point is called Dakshinayana. Makar Sankranti marks an important astronomical transition. On the zodiac belt, it signifies Sun's entry from Sagittarius or Dhanu Rashi into Capricorn or Makar Rashi. In the state of Gujarat, Makar Sankranti is popularly known as Uttarayan. On the day, the skies are filled with vibrant kites of various shapes and sizes, and people compete in friendly kite flying battles. The celebration continues on the next day, which is referred as the Vasi Uttarayan, with feasting and gatherings. Special dishes like undiyu, a mixed vegetable delicacy, and several sweet dishes are prepared and enjoyed with family and friends. A night before Makar Sankranti, a vibrant harvest festival of the winter crops is celebrated primarily in the Punjab region of India, called Lohri. Communities gather and celebrate around a bonfire, symbolizing warmth, energy, and gratitude to the fire. Lohri is deeply associated with Punjabi folk songs and dances. Many of these songs narrate the stories of a legendary Punjabi hero, Dulla Bhatti or Abdullah Khan Bhatti. During the Mughal era, Dulla Bhatti fought against the oppressions of local farmers. His tales of bravery and kindness, especially rescuing enslaved girls and arranging their marriages, are commemorated during Lohri. Like many legendary figures from different regions of India, Dulla Bhatti's name was removed from the history books. Yet, he lives in the hearts of people and the folk songs of Lohri that were passed down through generations. With these beautiful songs, people perform energetic Punjabi folk dances like Bhangra and Gidda to the beats of dhol or drum, creating a festive atmosphere. In Tamil Nadu, Pongal is observed during the Tamil month of Thai and typically coincides with Makar Sankranti. Pongal is deeply rooted in agrarian traditions as it marks the end of the harvest season and the beginning of a new cycle of farming. Farmers express gratitude to nature, the sun, and the cattle that are essential for their livelihoods. The 4 day long celebration begins with Bhogi Pongal. Families clean their homes thoroughly and decorate with kolams, which are intricate floor art designs made with rice flour. The main festival occurs on the second day, the Thai Pongal, when the traditional Pongal dish is prepared by boiling rice, milk, and jaggery in a new pot. This dish is offered to Lord Surya, the sun god, along with sugarcane, bananas, and coconuts to offer deep gratitude for the harvest and overall for sustaining life on earth. Mattu Pongal is celebrated on the third day to honor the cattle, which are integral to agriculture. Cows and bulls are washed, decorated with garlands, horns painted, and their bells adorned. This day highlights the harmonious relationship between humans and animals in agrarian life. Finally, the fourth day celebrates family and social bonding through Kannum Pongal, where families gather for picnics, sharing food, and visit relatives and friends. A similar but unique celebration is Poush Parbon in Bengal during the Bengali month of Poush, coinciding with Makar Sankranti. This vibrant festival celebrates a time of abundance when the granaries are full of rice, the staple food of this region. The highlight of Poush Parbon is the preparation of a variety of rice-based sweet delicacies known as pithe, made from newly harvested rice, date palm jaggery, and coconut. Popular types of pithe include pati shapta, which are rice flour crepes filled with jaggery and coconut. Roshbora, lentil fritters soaked in sweet syrup. Doodh puli, coconut and jaggery filled rice dumplings cooked in milk. Along with pithe, payesh is another essential dish made with rice, milk, and nolin gur, a special date palm jaggery available only at this time of the year. These delicacies truly are a labor of love. Families gather to prepare and enjoy these together, fostering unity, joy, and intergenerational learning. Homes are decorated with an art form called alpona, which are drawn on the floors using a paste made from rice flour, enhancing the festive spirit. In rural Bengal, the festival is celebrated with community feasts and fairs, showcasing the region's cultural richness. Assamese festival Magh Bihu or Bhogali Bihu shares the same ethos in its own unique way. The term Bhogali comes from the word Bhog, which means feasting or enjoyment. Similar to Poush Parbon, the highlight of Bhogali Bihu is preparation and sharing of a variety of traditional Assamese dishes like pitha, payesh, laru, which are sweet balls made of sesame or coconut, and other rice-based sweet delicacies. The feasting often continues late into the night and sometimes lasts for days. Similar to Lori, community bonfires known as Meji are lit during Bhogali Bihu, around which people gather to offer prayers, sing songs, and share food. This further enhances the sense of togetherness. In Maharashtra, Makar Sankranti is referred simply as Sankranti or as is. People exchange til gur, sesame seeds mixed with jaggery, which are shaped into laddus or chikki. These sweets are given along with a very meaningful greeting, til gur ghea, god god bola, which means accept these sweets and speak sweetly, symbolizing fostering goodwill and relationships. Married women gather through Haldi Kumkum ceremony to celebrate friendship among themselves and pray together for blissful marriages. Apart from til gur, other delicacies like Puran Poli and Bhogachi Bhaji, a mix of seasonal vegetables, are also prepared during Sankranti. Along with these, other Indian states also celebrate Makar Sankranti through many unique cultural festivities immersed in similar deep symbologies of expressing gratitude to nature, fostering community bonding, and celebrating new harvests. Through intergenerational culinary traditions. As we celebrate Makar Sankranti in its various forms, let us remember the timeless message of this festival to honor nature, spread warmth, and welcome new beginnings with humility, respect, and gratitude.